Hi, Daddy. What you doing?
You doing the regatta shuffle right now? Oh, a little scullin' and scoopin'. Some cold style and ting. Well, let's go. Scully, you have fun.
Yo, it's your boy Dyson Knight. You're live on the Sup'm show. This is season 2, episode 9, and our topic is deadbeat mothers, deadbeat moms. You're always talking about deadbeat dads, and I feel like, again, yo, salute. Yeah.
Welcome back to our newest member and our newest guest, Dr. Ken Mazad.
Yeah, we have a guest. We have a guest speaker on today, Dr. Ken Mazad.
He's
Thank
been
you for having
MIA.
me. Thank you for having me on today's show.
He's been MIA now for the past 6 weeks. You know, whatever he's been doing, I don't know. He don't tell me nothing, so it is what it is. He's here today. Y'all ask him. Go ask me.
My lord. All right, so check it out, y'all. I mean, Anne started something at the end of the last show, and she just blurted out a few things in regards to, because, you know, she's a mom herself, and I think besides Anne's, I'm probably second best to talk about this topic, because it ain't much I haven't seen. You gentlemen, you have one baby mother, right?
Damn right.
Yeah, see, y'all basic. Y'all in.
Hey, Ken, you make that sound like that's a
get your weight up. You gotta get your weight up, man.
None of us could be like the legendary Dyson Knight.
Okay, so I have three. And I've seen what I haven't seen baby mamas do. And here's the thing. Let's remove the excuses right off the bat. Because one excuse that comes to mind is that the woman is angry, the mother is angry, and she does a lot of things in anger. Now, given we understand that anger makes you dumb, right? The madder you get, the stupider you become. That's talk, please. You have you done any studies into stupidity?
No.
And anger? Okay.
And I found that the scientific community doesn't want to waste a lot of time in studying stupidity, but it probably needs further study.
Yeah, but it definitely does.
Listen, Ken, would you please do me the honors and let them know how many percent of people
get your weight up, man.
How many percent of people are stupid?
How many percentage of people are stupid in the world? Would you please do the honors, please?
In my opinion, is 85%.
In mine is what?
95.
98.
98%?
I think it's 85.
In my opinion, 99% of your 98 is baby mamas. Baby.
Oh, boy, throw it up for yourself.
Right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. We're talking about the deadbeat moms, right? Because some baby mamas are well within their right to raggy the dad to do what he needs to do for the child, right? Some baby mamas are well within their right to do so. In the same vein, some baby mamas find themselves in this category of being deadbeat because their mission isn't for the betterment and the well-being of the child. The mission is the total destruction and annihilation of that child's father. And that's something, the reason why that's stupid on both sides of the knife is that on one side, you hurt the child. That's the obvious, because if the child doesn't have a father, you know, in whatever capacity it is, you remove that dad from the child's life. If the child doesn't have that father, that is a parent. That is a whole, I wouldn't say 50%, because the child gets 200%, 100% of the mom's love and 100% of the dad's love. So that's a whole 100% of love you taken away from the child, right? And I don't want to take any percentage of love away from this show. So let's bring in.
Hello. Oh,
Uh,
hey,
look,
happy Sunday.
look who decided to join us today.
I see. Welcome back, Dr. Ken.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to have
Pleasure to
you
be
back.
on the show today. Thank you all
Yeah,
for having me as a
special
guest.
guest.
We are happy to have you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So
I
I was
heard y'all
talking
created
about,
some ruckus last week. I heard some of it.
yeah,
Who's
I was,
who's y'all? The one who just come on, create the ruckus. Who's y'all?
Me? Mm.
Take me out of that, sir. I've been a good boy season 2.
all right. So back to the show, and Ans, you here now because this is a lot of your topic, but mine secondary to you. Only because, and I will. I mean, I don't have to give the disclaimer, right? I know for a fact that I'm not going to speak on behalf of the women. I am definitely going to speak on behalf of the men and how they are affected by the drama, not only angry or bitter baby mamas bring to their lives, but also the difficulty the system places the father in when in terms of him trying to be a good father or be a present father, even though the environment that he has to go in order to do that is toxic. Right? So I guess we just start there. That toxic environment, that person screaming and yelling and probably trying to fight you or coming on your job or
May I?
yes, kindly.
Let me start this off with a bang, right? So there are deadbeat mothers out there, right? We all know that, right? Just like there's deadbeat fathers out there. But does the responsibility fully fall on the woman? And let's be playing devil's advocate here now, because I mean, the man did choose her. At the end of the day, he did choose her. Well, hold on now, hold on before you jump off the bridge. Hold on, stay up top, stay there. The man did choose her. So, sometimes, not all the time, because sometimes people flip out and you don't even know that's who they were. But I mean, I'm pretty sure there were some signs here and there that you should have been paying attention to while she was in the process of dating this lady. You know what I mean? You know it in yourself, but like I always say, the problem is most men so addicted to the coochie that they disregard them red flags that be right in your face. And then they want to pay attention to those red flags when the flags start going all over the place like crazy. They were always there, bro. You just not paying attention to them.
I'll say this. Maybe they were there if this
Mm.
female already had a child and there were actual red flags because she was already doing this to another guy. But
Uh-huh.
if this was a person who didn't have children,
Mhm.
who was the first child for both of these people together, so there was really no opportunities for the red flags, then
Mhm.
how would you pick up on how a person is going to be if, I mean, when it comes to a child,
Mhm.
when that's not something that has been presented before? So how do you
But
pick
well,
up on,
I
Go
can
ahead.
add something to that.
okay.
I said this before on our show. I don't have any outside children outside of my marriage, and that wasn't by accident. That was on purpose.
Mhm. Mhm.
And of course, you can't know specifically how a person is going to react if it's their first child. You don't know, but you
Right.
can have some good insight into what kind of person you're dealing with, into how they handle stress, how they respect you, what their
Mhm.
priorities are in life, what type of person or what type of what how they manage their own. I wouldn't say a house, but how they manage their own space. Because when you're a little younger, you don't really have a house per se. You just have a space. You have an apartment, or you're living with somebody. So you have your space. So how do they manage their space? How do they manage their time? What are their career plans? Like what type of mentality they have? So you have a lot of insight
Okay,
into
so let
what
me so
type
let
of
me throw
person you're
this
going to be
in.
dealing with.
So let me throw this in. Let's set the person. The person
Mhm.
has a pristine home. They are very organized. They have a career plan. They are very good at it. they are responsible,
Hmm.
but they still
Yeah.
can turn out to be a deadbeat other
Person.
parent. Yes. And when I
I,
say deadbeat, you know,
got
when I say deadbeat, I think many times when people hear deadbeat, they think of a
bad
parent who
rock.
is not a parent who is not financially supporting a child. I think that's what people naturally gravitate towards. But when I think deadbeat, I feel like it could be that, but it could also be a parent that is deliberately keeping a child away from the other parent.
Is that definition deadbeat though? That was the
Yeah.
last part you said.
Yes.
I'm not I'm not sure, but when
Yes.
I'm but what I'm saying is that's what I think of
Right.
when
Go
I think
Yes.
that's a
I
part. I think that's a part of it. But we also have to look at those parents, and that could be male or female,
correct.
ahead.
single or not,
Hmm.
who are not involved in developing their child and making sure their child don't grow up to be an asshole. That's what they call a deadbeat. Because you could be
Yes.
in the
Say it
house,
again.
you could be in the house and be a deadbeat.
Oh,
So I'm saying,
absolutely.
those parents, like you have some parents, you can have a two-parent home and only have one parent involved in parenting,
Parenting.
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that other parent is a deadbeat. You
Yes.
understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Agreed.
yeah, it's
So,
financial. Yes,
so there's multiple
it
definitions
keeps
of
all those
deadbeat.
other things, but it's part of it is
I think,
actually
yeah, I
making
think
sure
lots
you
of it
produce a
comes under
citizen.
that umbrella. Right. Right. And so just thinking of what you just said, making sure that you produce, a good citizen, right? And that's why I feel like parents that keep children away from another parent is a deadbeat because you are not giving them the best shot at having both parents. And I think you can always tell because I feel like they try to search for excuses of why. Oh,
Yeah.
well, he didn't do this before, or he didn't do that before. But my thing, and this is where I feel like things differ a bit back home versus here in Florida, because the way it's set up here, let's just say a father I'll use a father. I won't use a mother because the courts usually gravitate towards mothers. So I'll use a father, right? So let's just say a father was on drugs, was in the street, popped into the kid's life, popped out, popped in, popped out, wasn't consistent, the whole nine. If that father got himself together, got himself clean, changed his life around, had a lucrative life, and went to court for his child, the court will grant him joint custody. But where I feel like a lot of people are stuck at is the past. They love to, no matter where a person is, they love to go back. Remember 10 years ago when such and such, remember 7 years ago when such and such.
Yeah.
But it's like, hi, hello, can we focus on today? Today I'm in a great space. Today I can. Today I will. Today I want to. Please let me. And I just don't feel like it should be up to that other parent, especially if it's not a dangerous situation. I don't think it should be up to that other parent to say, oh, well, no, you can't go. Because how is it? The courts will say, well, you 50-50% made this child, so you 50-50% financially responsible. Then why is it one parent has the full decision?
Right.
That doesn't make sense. If we're half and half and we have the half and responsibility, then you should not be able to tell me that I can't get my kid. That's like illegal. That's like kidnapping. From I almost wish it could be like, okay, you've already had him for half of the year, now it's my turn. Or
Yeah.
something. Because because like, you know what I mean? So it's like it's super confusing and I feel like in some places, in many places, court systems, in my opinion, will favor the mother
Yeah.
over the father.
Family laws on the whole.
The
favors the mother over the father. But go
And
ahead.
I'm not saying every single time, but that's usually what you hear about. And then I'll say this, some people may say, oh, we'll just take him to court, but not everyone is in position to go and
Yeah,
hire an attorney, because
yeah,
before they can even do anything, they'll tell you, okay, well, we need 3,500 retainer. And then before that, then we need to do this and we need to do that. So it's still, in my opinion, when I think of that, it's like this could be monies that's going towards this kid. But now I've got to go and take you to court.
yeah.
Yes. Why I say stupidity. And a deadbeat is anyone who isn't doing everything they possibly can in the best interest of the child.
Yeah.
And I try to, when we started the show, just excuse the anger part, because women get angry, men get angry when the breakup is fresh. But then you have this situation with the child turning 6, 7, 20, and going to college, and you
Whole millennium.
So guys, let me throw a real curveball at you.
right.
Having said what we just said, right? Talking about making the right choice, and I guess with our definition of what deadbeat, specifically deadbeat moms are, right?
Mhm.
If that is the case, then how do we feel about pro-choice versus not pro-choice? Do you think that if say a female becomes pregnant and she's like, you know what, this guy, either I'm not going to make a good parent or we're not going to make good parents, so maybe we should abort this pregnancy.
Mhm.
Do you think that's a good reason?
I'm
Yeah.
here's what I'll say. I can't say what is somebody else's good reason. It may not be a good reason to me, but it may be a good reason to them.
I can say, I think that's a part of what Juan was saying. That's the extension of it when he said that you chose her. And I will defend every man and woman who decides that going out on a date is okay, but starting a relationship is not. Just because you buy me a drink don't mean I owe you a dance.
Period.
Just because we sleep together don't mean that we are ready to be parents.
Wait. Now I disagree. Sexual
If you
intercourse was sexual intercourse was
if you
created to procreate.
we
So
Yeah, but
every
ads.
single pause. No. Pause. Every single time that you engage in a sexual act, you know that there is a possibility that a baby can be created. So you cannot say, just because I sleep with you doesn't mean I want to parent with you.
No, that's what
I,
I would have said.
I,
I said the opposite. I
I would
said just
venture, but
because
no, nobody thinks about that.
What's your say, Dyson?
I
I
said,
would venture 90% or more of pregnancies are not planned
Of course.
what
I,
I'm
I
saying is
agree
that
with you.
or unexpected.
Right.
just because we sleep together don't mean that we are able to be parents or
Oh,
co-parents.
Absolutely,
able to. Oh, now
Yeah,
that I agree.
absolutely,
I
that's what
agree.
I'm saying.
100%,
Okay.
That's what
I
I'm
100%.
saying.
agree. I
Right.
misunderstood.
And
In truth, you
that's
should
why
only
I
sleep
kind of
with somebody who you think can be a good parent. That would be the responsible thing to
True.
do.
That
that would
would
be
be
the
the responsible thing to do.
responsible thing to do. It would also be responsible not to drive a car until you get your driver's license. But we
Yes.
as Bahamians and
Don't
we as
always. And
people know,
people.
we be jumping behind the wheel and don't have a driver's license, right?
And I
So
also I also want to add to that too, Dyson, that much of the sense don't kick in until a little bit later,
yeah,
right?
es-
I'm
You know
serious.
what?
I'm
You know
right.
what I call
honest.
that, right? You wanna know what I call that, right? I call
What you
that.
Especially for those that don't know. Go ahead, one.
I call that, and I quote, that is called pulse, not clarity.
and and that is a real thing. That is a very real thing.
Carry on.
I strongly believe that you don't really know how you feel about a person
Until
you
after.
met until after. That's until after. Like if you, I mean, I'm sorry, but I even tell my daughters this. I say, y'all have to be careful because these dudes will promise you the world until they get you in the sock. And the minute they get you in the sock, it's possible that they could become totally different people, right?
Ruckus.
Hey, Dr. Bazar,
Say,
that's another
See,
definition of PIC, right?
but okay, so what does he say? Protection is a thing. No, it don't feel as good, but here's the thing. How about we take that up a notch? How about two responsible adults who are choosing to exclusively um, have sex together, go get
Juice.
tested together,
Hmm.
and go on something? Agree to start something.
well,
She
that
can get
that
an IUD. He could, I mean, like there are ways, and that, but here's the thing, because
85%.
you know,
Mm-mm.
protection is important, you know, because
85%.
for the STDs and for procreation. But
man,
if I mean, there are ways.
man,
No,
y'all scratching the surface. Y'all speaking the
disagree.
obvious. Like I
Disagree.
say, that's why I say
Listen,
I'm in a good place to talk about this. Go ahead, one.
the longer you around a person sexually, you are eventually going to get them pregnant. I'm telling you. And you're
Yeah,
going to get comfortable and you're
Oh,
going to
yes,
slip
yes,
up.
yes.
hold
Exactly.
on. See,
But this
You're
is
see, y'all ain't
why
real world yet, man.
IUDs are
Y'all ain't talking
important.
about
They
something yet, man. Y'all still
okay,
y'all
Mr.
still
Real Man.
playing
Go ahead,
around with the
get it.
topic, man. Listen,
Get it. Go get it.
because now that
let's
you're in
talk
here.
about no. Even before that, let's talk about
Uh-huh.
the reason people decide to have children. The
Okay.
reason dudes would tell a woman, you need to have my baby. Or the reason I could big that up. Or the reason they would say, or reason a woman say, no, I'm having a child for Dr. Bazard, but I ain't having one for one. But they being pregnant for two. Come on, man. Y'all
That's a
need to
good thing.
talk about this.
Wait a minute.
Y'all
Put me
need to
on. Let
talk
me
about this.
hear.
Good for him.
Come on,
No,
man.
not for me. Not for
Come
him.
on, man. Y'all see now listen.
Now
I
this
mean,
I don't know. So you gotta hey, maybe you
L-
should lead Dyson. Lead us.
listen. There are many people out there, and it only could be women that become pregnant, and without a hesitation, they make the choice to go and abort that pregnancy because of who they pregnant for
Okay, yes.
instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
But if they
Mm-hmm.
pregnant for somebody else, somebody who they feel probably they can make out better with,
Oh yeah, they keeping that.
they
Mm-hmm.
keep in that. And it
Mm-hmm.
don't regardless. The dude who say he wants her to have the baby and she don't have it for him, he ain't gonna know when she was pregnant. But the dude who telling her she don't want to have no children, the minute that seed reaching her, that is kept. And then because the reason you having this baby isn't because you want to be a mom and you want to raise a child. When
Mm-hmm.
that relationship that you have having that child to keep breaks down, what you trying to destroy?
right.
Everything in its rake. You destroying the child, you destroying
Yep.
that person, and that's the issue that turns you into a real deadbeat because you didn't care about the child in the first place.
No, not from
Dyson,
jump. This was a chess
Dyson.
piece.
Listen. You always got to assume, brother.
Wait a
I
minute
mean,
now,
no.
Ruckus.
Let me write that. The reason why they have children because let me get my point
I
across.
will say we do have two dishwashers.
Dyson, Dyson. You
Hey,
always,
ain't
No,
nothing
no,
like
no,
that.
no. But that's
Ain't
just
nothing,
teaching them, though. You
nothing like
want your
that. Two-legged,
children.
no control possible. I tell you right
I
now.
tell you that. I tell you that. I tell you that.
listen. You always got to assume, brother. I mean, you
Yeah.
have this conversation before. I don't care what nationality she is. I don't care what color she is. I don't care where she come from. None of that stuff, right? You always got to assume when shit hit the fan, she may possibly burn everything down, bro. Because 9 times out of 10, that's just how they respond to certain things. Every woman don't have it all together. I ain't saying all, but
Mhm.
the majority of these women out here in today's society, they don't have it together. A couple of years back too. All right, not all. So you always gotta assume when shit go left, everything getting touched up, bro. This is why it's very important to vet that person properly before you even make that jump, man. You have to, bro, because you will pay for it in the long run. Not her. You're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I have planned and unplanned children.
Yeah.
And like I tell men all the time, because I live this, you don't have to be perfect. You have to strive to be the best version of yourself you could possibly be. You have to do your best.
Right.
There's going to be one thing, and we could talk about this because here's me. One thing I'm not going to do is fight a woman for her children. I'm not getting in no fight. The child is mine, regardless of how much blows you want to throw, how much chairs you want to throw, how you want to talk to me, and I can choose whether or not I want to be around that or not. But and I find that, you know, I have older children now, and I had to take on that stance at a certain point in that relationship too. And in that, at that point in time, I can remember thinking, you know what? Let me push out and do what I could do from a distance.
Yep.
And when my children get older, they will be able to read or hear or talk and understand.
Oh, yes.
That's
For
what I always
themselves.
say, bro. That's what I always
That's
say.
risky. That's risky, but I think Dyson, that's risky.
No. But I'm speaking now from experience because I'm seeing the other side of that because I have
Why?
adult children now.
Why is it risky?
I'll let Doc. I could tell you why. I could tell you why I have some regrets in taking that stance.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I have regrets in taking that stance is because there are traits that I have that I wish my children had.
Right.
The older children. There are things that I could have taught them had I been around them on a more consistent basis that I would have wanted them to have. Yes. I can see where they're missing that. And I can see where that would make them stronger human beings. Not to say that their mom didn't take excellent care of them and do her best with them, but there's certain things she's not me.
No.
Yeah.
She can't teach them that.
She can't be daddy.
You see what I'm saying? And to even make it more personal, Lance, not only can she not be daddy, but she can't be Dyson.
No.
You see what I'm saying? And those are Dyson's children. They have my genetic buildup in them. They have an affinity to do the things that I know that I can do. You know, you understand what I'm saying? And probably even better than I can do it. You understand what I'm saying? But so if I had tapped into them, because one of the things I used to do with my children when I was really gigging and all around the place, and I'd be running into different Bahamian superstars like KB and Ronnie Butler and Elon, who, God rest his soul, like he recently passed away. Anytime I would be in the presence of any one of them, I'd say, please touch my children. Just touch them. Touch their hands. Let them feel your vibe, your aura, your energy. You know what I mean? And so when they see them, or when they see these people on stage, or when they see get to learn the epicness that they do, and they could see a picture with them, or they could remember interacting with them or meeting them through daddy, they have a different level of confidence in them, man. So I'm saying, like, and I feel as though every man, when you call yourself a man, the first thing you then do is you then work, and by the sweat of your brow, you could eat bread, right? You's a man, you're taking care of business. I mean, you have some type of skill, or you have some type of job, you have some type of talent, or you have some type of thing to you.
Right.
That your children could pick up on. So you have to be present. My dad and my mom were never married. And my dad, even though my mom would say he's the best daddy, my mother would tell me he's the best daddy, right? But I know that I wasn't even around him enough in order to pick up the degree of wisdom he has in music, the fact that he's a welder, a mason, he does some carpentry. He was one of the best AC techs in flipping country when Crystal Palace was around. I don't know nothing but AC because I didn't grow up with him in that environment.
Right.
So in terms of, boy, I digress a lot. I guess in short, what I'm saying is that fathers still need to do their best to protect their self, from the destructive nature of a bitter baby mom or a deadbeat mother. Protect yourself from that, but do a little better than I did when it comes to trying to remain present.
Hey, bro, but the only way to protect yourself from that is don't have a bunch of baby mothers. That's it. And here's how you go. And here's how you go about that, right? Me, for example, right? I grew up in Camp Road, right? That's where I'm from, my area, right? I have tons of cousins out there, older than me. You know how much shit I saw these dudes going through on a daily basis with multiple baby moms, bro? I talking about when Paradise Island was Fort Lauderdale. I talking about these dudes couldn't even come home on a Friday with a jet before they clean out, bro. And I talking about cleaned out from as fast as one baby mama come, but they hand out, next one come, but they hand out. Ain't know these niggas do again? Turn around and get another chick pregnant. I've seen the process, bro. I've seen it. And I've seen where these dudes can't hold on to nothing, to the fact right now in 2025, this very day, the niggas still in Camp Road doing nothing.
Come on, Camp
You
Road
have,
doing nothing, babe.
you have to learn from men that came before you. That's the thing. And you got to stop going through life thinking because it's you, the results is going to be different. The
So I
results is
think,
going to be the same if you're doing the same bullshit.
but sometimes people aren't exposed to what you were exposed to.
Understandable, Hans, but at what point, as a grown man, don't you say, you know what, this is probably not a good idea? That's what
I know for many people that
I
realization
know.
comes afterwards.
And it goes back to my point. You know why it comes afterwards? Because
Hmm.
they're too concerned with the Gucci. They just want that. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to tell you right now.
Mm-hmm.
It goes
Mm-hmm.
hand in hand. I promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
That
I can see one mistake, but I can't see multiple. I can't.
that's it. I can see one. I can't see three and four and five. At that point, you search. You need to search within yourself. It's the same thing if a chick get married over and over and over and over and over. If a chick get married 4 times and divorced 4 times, the problem ain't the man.
Yeah, no.
The problem is her. Same way around for the guy too. You won't keep getting married over and over and over, and the chick's just getting rid of you, taking you to court, divorce, taking you to court, divorce, and you're on your fifth marriage as a man, bro. Stop
I would
getting
say
married.
though, a person who's getting married multiple times is um, delusional, because I think if a person keeps
Agree.
getting, no, I'm serious, because if a person keeps
Agree.
getting divorced and remarried, that means that person's looking for perfection.
Exactly.
You are not going to find
You're not gonna
perfection
find
in
nothing.
marriage.
In nothing.
Yeah, with anything. And don't get me wrong, there are lucrative, legit
Mm,
reasons for people to leave marriages, but
yeah,
3, 4 times, yeah,
right.
you're looking for perfection
That's
at
it.
that point.
Yeah, let me hit y'all with some interesting information that I came across while researching for the show. Um, 3.7 billion in child support was owed to custodial dads. This is a report from 2011. So that's women not paying child support to the tune of $3.7 billion in 2011. And especially being Bahamian from the Bahamas. I know one Bahamian dude who went to court and won his children, right? But I never heard about women being forced to pay child support. So that was news to me. Another thing that was news to me is that this this whole deadbeat mom thing is a studied thing. They call it MMS, malicious mother syndrome,
Mm.
right?
What?
Yeah, coined by Dr. Richard A. Gardner.
It
Say it
definitely is malicious.
yeah, it can be characterized by four major criteria. Y'all check this out.
Mhm.
Taking actions to separate the child from the other parent for
Mm.
non-legal reasons is one.
Right.
Disrupting the child's routine by interfering with extracurricular. denying visitation and communications with the other parent,
Mm.
telling lies, incomplete truths, and distortions to the child repeatedly.
What this name now?
MMS, malicious mother syndrome.
Ah,
And this is the case, whereas I guess given that the parent has no medical disorder,
Right.
right? That would explain their actions. And we got into it at the end of the last show, Ans.
Hmm.
we, we.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you was that too. Um, and I find that in very polite, particular ways, some of these things get done to these children, whereas the lies or the half truths um, get told to them repeatedly. One of the
Yeah.
things that I experienced, right? Um, and this may have not been even been on purpose,
Right.
but should I give? I'll say what it is. Telling the child that I'm busy and not to call
Hmm.
because I'm busy. To wait until daddy calls you, don't call daddy.
Oh, that's malicious.
That's diabolical right there.
That is
Bro.
Yeah,
malicious.
yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
That is quite malicious.
And I remember putting an app on my child's device that made it easy for
Easy.
them to just pick
Mm.
up their device and call daddy, right? And at the time, maybe it was anger. At the time, it is said that, oh, this child is too young to have that type of freedom, that type of access to just pick up and call whenever they want. And I'm like, what?
But Dyson,
What?
even
Is she too
saying
young?
that,
If I in the house, is she too young to come and wake me up and say, daddy, I want water?
no,
So explain that to me.
that's that malicious mother syndrome because no, it is
That's an
because
MMS, hey.
they're definitely so because even if because I know you said it may have been anger, right? No amount of anger you have towards somebody's daddy should get in the way of that person reaching out to their daddy. That's not your daddy. That's
Yeah.
your person. This is literally this child's person that you are saying, I'm mad at them. So now you can talk and be around your person.
Yeah.
Even though we have no attachment, we have no nothing.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and see you talking sense.
You know what I
These
mean?
type these type things don't make they don't make sense to me.
Because I will tell
Go,
you,
go.
at
Yeah, I
my
see homeboy finger.
oh
No, no, no. Listen. Go ahead, Hans. I go after you.
no, what I was gonna say is that I have three children prior to my current marriage with my ex-husband, and my two older ones, they have their own cell phones. Baby girl, she's 7, she doesn't have a phone. If she comes to me at any time and says, "Mommy, can I call my daddy?" Here, if I'm using my phone, I stop what I am doing and I let her do that. If
Yeah.
I'm on a meeting or whatnot, I will signal for one of her siblings to, hey, let her use the phone so she can call daddy. Because, and this is, I have been in tumultuous situations where I have been pissed at this person, but that is not their business.
Yeah.
That has absolutely nothing to do with their relationship with their dad. So you have to know you just cut that off. I just feel
Yeah.
like that's not the business of the children because no
Yeah.
matter what, that's their daddy. No
Yeah.
matter how you spin it, put it, that's their daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hesitated in giving my story because there was a side of it that I wanted to explain too, because you know, in the case with my older children, you know, I had the opportunity to get an explanation why um uh it made sense to their mom to say, don't call daddy, daddy busy, uh yada yada yada. And it was explained that it was in protection of the child, because if they were to call and I'm busy, and I don't answer the phone, they get disappointed. Now, I understand that disappointment. However, however, and
But that's not for them to determine, though,
That's so irritating to me.
right?
Like, but
It's
I
not
mean,
for
and
them to
for me
determine.
though, here's the
I've
thing.
never not answered my daughter's call before.
Children, people sometimes treat children
Oh,
I
like
have.
children ain't gonna grow up. Okay, I feel like people is treat kids and they can say kids forever, right? And the way I see it, I'm not gonna be the one to say don't call daddy, and I'm the one disappointing you. Personally, if he's gonna let you down, let him let you down. Yes, call. You know what I mean? There was a small situation where one of my older daughter, she wanted to live with her dad, and she wanted to live with him not because she didn't want to live with me, but she knew that when it would be my time to see her, that I would actually come and get her.
Mm.
So she figured this is a way I don't have
Wow.
to worry
She
about if
sharp.
he's gonna come get me or not because I'll be living there.
Yeah.
Even though that hurt my soul, like, oh my God, my baby may be moving out. You know what I said to her? Ask daddy. If he's
hmm
open to it, we will figure it out. And he did exactly what I knew he was going to do. He said
Mm.
no.
Hmm.
But can you imagine now if I had said, nope, you're not doing that, you're not this, then she would look at me like I'm the one keeping her away. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, if that's your logic, if that's what you want to do, let's see how we can make it happen. But
hmm
I don't see how you have mothers who try to make all of the decisions. I mean, like all of it, when there are spaces where they actually don't even have to.
There's a lot of things that a lot of women feel they just do because they're protected. I always said it. If it wasn't
The
things
what?
in place, because they're protected by the law.
Protected.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're
protected.
protected.
Okay,
They're
I thought you were
protected
saying
by the law.
protective. Okay.
No, they're
Hmm.
protected by the law. It's a lot of things as far as like, okay, if an argument pop off, sometimes a woman will just haul off and punch that dude right in the face because
Hmm.
she knows that when the cops get called, I ain't saying all the time, 9 times out of 10, the cops gonna ask you what you do as a man.
Yeah, what
You know what
Yeah.
I
happened?
mean? If
Yeah.
if a domestic situation happens within the house and someone got to call the cops and neighbors call the cops, the minute the cops knock on the door, they're gonna assume you the one that started the ruckus as a man. And
Yeah.
seeing that the woman knows that, she knows that already. It gives her the power to start shit.
Yeah.
Also, to double down on what Dyson said, when your baby mom, your wife, or whatever decides that they want to leave you, always remember this, man. They love to leave you broken.
Mm.
Okay, by leaving you broken, they still have some sort of control over you and what's going on with you on the inside. You see? But see, the minute they decide to leave you, and I'm not saying it won't affect you, okay? You're still human. JP's still human. I ain't got that much emotion, but I'm still human. But I can tell you one thing though. I will never show you that I'm broken because they love to see a broken man. And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they get malicious towards you when you level up your life with or without them. They don't like to sit by and see that.
No.
And and when I say level up, that could be many things. Level up as far as money, get
Oh yes.
remarried, be
Oh
happy.
yes. Oh
You
yes.
understand? They
Oh
hate to
yes.
sit by and see that shit.
Oh
You
yes.
understand?
My aunts, you doing it
Hmm.
wrong. My daughter just teach me is this now. It's called
Oh, they
eating.
don't snap no more?
No, it's called eating. Eating. Yeah. He ate. He ate with
Hey,
that one.
I'm doing,
Yeah.
I'm doing this
Hey.
now. I'm doing this. Whatever the fuck that is, I'm doing it.
No, but that
Anyway,
You
you spot
eating,
on with that. You
JP.
spot
You
on with that,
spot
JP.
on with that.
you know what I'm saying? So if you decide to
But I
level up
feel
your
like,
life and become an entrepreneur or whatever it may be, they hate to see that. They want to see you broken and in the dumps. You
but
could
that's
never see me in the
always
dumps.
evidence to me.
hmm
I feel like that's evidence that a person has not moved on
That's
is
it.
when they are looking
hmm
for, okay, yes, I know you want your child, but nope, I know that's the one thing that's going to hurt you, so I'm going to keep them away. Oh,
Thank
you are still in your feelings.
Yeah.
Absolutely deep in it. Deep
Because
in it.
that's what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me before we go into a full
Ah, nah, I'm kidding, man.
half court press, right? Doc said something very quickly. He said he's never not answered his daughter's call,
Right.
and I think that's brilliant. I have
And I mean,
missed.
Dyson, I've been in business meetings with other men, and I
Yeah.
hear my phone. If I hear my phone ringing, if it's JP, I'm not answering.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's you, Dyson, I'm not answering. But
Right.
if it's my daughter, and all I gotta do is tell this grown man next to me, this is my daughter calling. Hold on a second. You know what they can say?
Oh,
Mhm.
I
Okay,
understand.
Handle your
yeah,
business. Yeah, handle your
Yes.
business.
handle your
Yes.
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes.
men understand that. I will always answer my child's call, especially
And
my
I
daughter.
think, but I
But
think parents, because I've been
Never
in
call
a
me back.
room with a patient, especially when you know your kids don't call like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if my kids are calling me and I'm at work, they know I'm at
There's a
work.
reason. Yeah.
Hold on, I need to
Yeah.
take this.
Mhm.
And if in the
Correct.
first few seconds I find it's actually irrelevant, I just hang up the phone and go back in the room with the patient.
But here's the key thing, because I don't want deadbeat moms or MMS, right?
MMS.
Eh, stricken people to listen to what Doc said and try to use that
Right.
in right against someone else.
Mm-hmm.
The key thing is when you hear the phone ring, when you see the call coming in, if you don't hear the phone ring and you don't see the call, that's a whole different situation. Because now, and this is the good thing about having children in your house, right? Having them in the same house with you. You get to interact with them on a daily basis.
Right.
I can tell y'all right now that I have to make it a point whenever I remember to go into my phone and check for missed messages or missed calls. I have to make it a point. And I would go into even with the child that has the app, I would have to say, you know what, I ain't checked this app in a minute. Let me go and check to see if I missed anything. See, I have to make a conscious decision to do that. But here's the thing, boy, and one, I guess you would say I asked for this.
You
I
asked
guess
for
I
that.
did ask. I asked for this.
Um,
Some I don't always do it
You
because
always forget.
I often forget. I often forget to check.
Right.
It may be a day or two where I don't check. And
Right.
then when I do check the third or fourth day later, I'm heartbroken because I missed the call and it's been so
Mm.
long since I returned, or I heartbroken because I responded to a picture. I'm heartbroken. And a lot of times, and it's the difficulty of being it's the difficulty of being in a different place in a different time zone and having a different time structure. When I
Mhm.
wake up in the morning and I start my journey to school, she's still sleeping,
Right.
right? My youngest is still sleeping.
send the
When
message at night, bro.
by time as I reach class and I'm already hectic and I'm already doing all these type things, I have it in my mind to say, you know what, at this time I can call, right? But sometimes I forget. And then when the call comes in and I in the middle of class and I see it, I step into the class and I start talking from my in
Right.
class. Most of
Right.
my classmates know her, you know what I mean?
Right.
To that degree. So
Yeah.
and it was always been the same. I mean, technology has changed over the many years. I have a daughter just turned 24 yesterday, a day before yesterday.
She's Louise.
Yeah, I had no WhatsApp, when my 20-year-old was 4 and 5 and 6. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a whole different journey, it's a whole different dynamic. So don't take your MMS and try to lick some dude who trying his best upside his head with what the doc just said. But yeah, let's go in full force now. So whew, breaking the man. Breaking the other parent. I mean, let me just say deadbeat. You're talking about deadbeat moms. What are some of the things uh, um, you've experienced on, or you would think? Let me not say you experienced, but you would think that a deadbeat mom would do to make it difficult for that man to be a father to his child.
Block him.
mean, shut off access, like completely
Oh,
shut off access, so you can't find out anything about your child.
Oh,
Wow.
not hey,
that's
watch this.
crazy.
Not only shut off access to the child, how about make them block the bonus sibling? Block the house.
Oh my God.
Block the house. How about tell the child your daddy don't love you?
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something. Okay, let me throw a little curveball here. Do you
I've
think,
seen some things.
right, and anybody get answer this, do you think that particular mom that's doing all that malicious bullshit, right?
Hmm.
If she finds a suitable man
Hmm.
in her life to keep
Yes.
her ass preoccupied, no pun
Yes.
intended, right? Do
Yes.
you think she would still be the same way towards the father that she's not with anymore?
So here's what I will say.
Hmm.
I would say it would probably have to be a strong man who would not only preoccupy her but to check her and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, why are you keeping this child from
Hmm.
daddy?"
Hmm.
That's what it
Yeah.
would take. Because I don't
Yeah.
think it's necessarily distracting her. Because I feel
Hmm.
like if nobody is gonna check her
Yeah.
and be like, "Hey, this is wrong," you know what I mean? I think that's what it
Yeah.
would take.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it
Agree.
would take more than just being preoccupied. Because
Yeah.
when somebody has decided that this is what they're going to do, and hear me out, I honestly feel like these mothers that are this way, they don't even see nothing wrong with it.
Oh no, absolutely
I
not.
truly feel like oh, that, and what I mean is, it's almost like a compulsive liar who will convince themselves that what they're saying is the truth, no matter that it's a lie. So I feel
Hmm.
like these mothers that have MMS have convinced themselves that what they are doing is the right thing.
Mm.
And there aren't many people who
Yeah.
will call people out. This is also why it's so important to have real people in your circle,
Well,
because a real friend would be prepared to accept getting cussed right out and ready to say, "Hello, you are wrong. Let this child go to her daddy. Let this
Yeah.
child, like, you wrong." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it makes me kind of, even look at who they're around and, and
hmm,
so on and so forth, or whatnot. But it's a tough situation to be in. I feel bad for every single dad that is in that position. And I feel bad that you have many fathers who are being beaten with sticks that were broken 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
And no matter what growth, no matter what evolution, no matter what space they're in, it's always remember in 2008 when you forgot to call back. No, you don't deserve to see your kid.
In
you know
2050.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And the
Ah,
sucky
yeah.
part about it is, to me, and now that's not actual facts, guys. I'm just using an example.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like the sucky part about that is every single day, every single year, these fathers are losing
Hmm.
opportunities to sprinkle themselves over their children. They are losing the opportunity. They are
Mm-hmm.
losing the
Yeah.
chance to
Yeah.
have a real, especially with daughters, they are losing the chance to have that daddy's girl, relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult. I also find that when you have a single person and their child's father has remarried, and even if their relationship didn't work, right, and
Hmm.
the child was unable to see a good relationship through them, but their father has remarried and is in a good place and is fostering a healthy good relationship, if that child was around her dad, she would still have a chance to see a solid relationship. Because I'm telling you, children can look up to their dads and say, wow, I would like to be, you know what? I would want my husband to be just like you, daddy, when I grow up as as a dad, but I would prefer my bonus dad. I would want to marry someone like my bonus dad.
Hmm.
So you have some men who could be really good dads, and you have some men who could be really good dads and really good partners. And I
What the
feel
hell
like
is a bonus dad?
if what the hell is a what?
Bonus dad.
Instead of step parent,
Okay, okay.
it's a nice
I got
addition.
you. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
I got
So there are still ways for these children who do come from broken homes to still be exposed to healthy relationships.
Yeah.
you.
And
But
or just their dad in a healthy space, their dad
right,
in a
yes,
healthy state too.
yes. Because
Um,
he could be single and in a good space.
They don't
I
want to see that. I keep telling you all that. They don't want to see you in a good space after they discard you. When they discard you, you must go straight to the trash and stay in the trash all the time. They don't want to see it.
but before we sign out, I just wanted to, I don't know,
Unless it's about
Ans,
the money.
yeah,
Bang.
Ans, you could chaperone this statement,
Okay.
because I feel like
Can't look at you. Look at
it's
your voice when I'm doing it.
it's the anger.
Yeah.
It's the anger has a lot to do with the reason women become malicious, and it's the jealousy, it's the comparison, comparing families, like, oh, you, and the assumption that you are different with one family than you are, or with one set of children than you are with the next set of children, and the desire to want to dictate and qualify what you should be doing in order
Mm-hmm.
for your children to feel loved.
Hmm.
Because sometimes women would say, if your daddy did love you, he would do this.
Things.
They telling the
Things.
child what it is,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Hmm.
You don't, or they would say to the father, you don't care about these children, you only care about these other children, because if you did, then you would X, Y, and Z. You making determination as to what qualifies. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know if you lost a leg, a limb. They don't care. They don't care if
Right.
you ain't had no job. They don't care.
Right.
You
Right.
know what
Nope.
I'm saying? So
Nope.
Man,
yeah, yeah,
stop letting a woman determine or define what a real man is. You understand? She's not a man.
Right.
She's not a man.
Right.
Stop letting these chicks define and determine really, if you was a real man, you'd be, because here's the thing. Every time that particular word is used, you ain't a real man. I can guarantee you, if you do what she say, it's going to benefit her.
Absolutely.
Stop letting them define what a real man is and what a real man ain't. They're not a man. Go ahead and let them define what a good mother is. How about that shit?
boom,
Mm. A
yeah,
good mother thinks about her children first.
yeah. All right, well, we about out of time. Anyone had anything else to say?
Eating, son.
Yeah,
Eating.
you eating, bro.
Okay, before we close, Dyson, I want you to list the four, drop downs of an MMS. And if there are any ladies that are listening to this and you fall into any one of these categories that Dyson is about to reach, then this is what you are classed as an MMS. Stop keeping your children away from their fathers, especially if it's not a space that's unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like this man is going to disappoint the child, then how about just call the bluff, let the child go, and
Yeah.
let the daddy disappoint the child. If that's what you think, if you feel like you're protecting them from this disappointment, it's okay. Go ahead. Since you can
Yeah,
guarantee that they'll be disappointed by the dad, let them go, let him disappoint them. But you don't make the
Right.
decision to
Right.
say, no, I'm not going to let you go to your daddy because of so and so and so. Because mark my words, every single mother
Munch.
that is, I will say every single primary parent that is keeping a child away from the other parent, when that child becomes an adult, they will hold resentment against you.
Yep.
They will hold resentment against you because they will blame you for not being able to have the relationship they wanted with that other parent.
Right.
Mhm.
There you go.
Well,
There you
yeah,
go.
that's
Where
enough.
they can go? Where they can go for more information on it? You remember? You remember the last show we had on your website? You remember?
Oh, guys, look, my book is out now.
See,
I know.
see, see.
I
It's
know.
live.
Mine's coming Wednesday.
Really? Thank
Hmm
you, Dyson. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'll be here on Wednesday. Not to worry about a
Awesome.
thing. All right, so that's episode
Hold on,
9.
Dyson. List them off. Yeah, list
Oh,
them off
oh,
first.
Yes, list them
oh,
off.
I dropped them in the thing.
Come on,
All
say it
right,
for us, Dyson.
no worries. I got you covered.
Thank
She on it. She on it.
MMS, or malicious mother syndrome, coined by child psychiatrist Dr. Richard A. Gardner. It can be characterized by 4 major criteria: taking actions to separate the child from the other parent for non-legal reasons,
Number one.
disrupting the child's routine by interfering with extracurricular,
Number two.
denying visitation and communications with the other parent,
Number three.
telling lies, incomplete truths, and distortions to the child repeatedly.
That's number four.
And the parent has no medical disorder to explain their actions.
And now
Number
it could be
four.
either one of them. It don't have to be all.
Yeah,
Number four.
there you go.
Number four. There you go.
Number
One,
four.
JP,
two,
come
three,
on,
four.
please.
Well, how much fingers is this?
This young man. 4.
How much fingers? Okay,
That's
that's all
4.
it is. Number four.
That's what it is. What it is. Peace out, y'all.
Y'all never seen Roman numerals before?
Yes, we're required to learn them in the medical field.
Roman numerals. That's it. Peace out, y'all. Come on,
Good
man.
night.